Giants. And in San Francisco, Buster Posey is back running baseball operations. He'll sit down with our Russell Dorsey in just a moment.
This baby is way back, out of here.
First big league homer.
Way back, and goodbye home run. The Giants are world champions. Got him! And that's a perfect game. Upper deck, goodbye. A grand slam for Buster Posey. Home run Buster Posey. And the Giants have won it all.
What a season for Buster Posey. His first MVP award, a monster year.
It's a no-hitter for Tim Lincecum.
Lincecum has done it again.
They have won the World Series for the third time in 5 years.
Welcome back to Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV+. Beautiful shot of Alcatraz over the bay. Rangers and Giants from Oracle Park. For 12 seasons here in San Francisco, Buster Posey was one of the best catchers in baseball. Now, as the president of baseball operations, the objective is the same.
I think they're similar because it's, from a catcher standpoint, you're managing a lot of different things. You have to worry about hitting, but you also need to get your pitcher, multiple pitchers through a game and through an entire season. And I think this position's somewhat similar. There's a lot of different pieces that and departments that you're touching, but it's important to me that our department heads, our major league staff, our minor league staff, they have the autonomy to go and work and do their jobs to the best of their ability. So you're paying attention to that, but you also, I think, have to give them some leeway to go and do their jobs.
Big weekend here in San Francisco. Your former manager on the other side for the Texas Rangers, and then tomorrow, the teammate for 10 years, Brandon Crawford, being honored here. One, what does it mean to you to see Boch, even though it's in the other dugout now, and then seeing Brandon Crawford be honored, what he's just meant to you in this city?
I'm excited to see Boch. I was texting with him earlier. I haven't. Hopefully, I'll see him during batting practice. But ultimate respect for him. One of the all-time greats, and consider myself very lucky to get to play under him for as many years as I did. And then Craw, as you mentioned, it's a great weekend for us to get to honor him, honor his career and his contributions to the game, to the San Francisco Giants, to the city. So it's a lot of fun. It's some old but familiar faces we'll see around here.
Fun weekend here on the Bay. Hearing from Buster Posey there, he's excited, but Bruce Bochy's also excited to honor Brandon Crawford here this weekend. We got a good one for you tonight. Rangers and Giants lineups and first pitch coming up next.
ever World Series? Or can these American League champs take home the title for the first time ever? Another hit, another run. The great left-hander has been knocked out. Uribe shoots one out. They're having fun in San Francisco. Giants win game 1. It is game 2 tonight. Matt Cain on the mound. Brilliant. Turned in a beauty in the World Series. Renteria launches one into left. And this has been a nightmare for Texas, to the delight of this packed house. Up 2 games to nothing in this World Series. We are set for baseball here in game 3. That'll put runners at the corners with 2 out. Leave it in the lap of the rookie first baseman Moreland. Moreland hits one to right. 3-run shot. 3-0 Texas. On this Halloween, can the Giants pull off the trick of taking a 3-1 series lead? Madison Bumgarner, 8 shutout frames. He has been unbelievable.
And the Giants take game 4. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
And a 10 strikeout night for Tim Lincecum. 3-run home run, Renteria.
Swing and a miss. And that's it. The Giants, for the first time in 52 years, the Giants are world champions.
In the 2010 World Series. They won a couple more after that under Bruce Bochy, who is now the manager of the Rangers, helping them win their first World Series a couple of years ago. First of a 3-game series here tonight at Oracle Park. The Giants about to take the field, and standing by with Matt Chapman, we send it down to Russell Dorsey.
Thanks, Wayne. Matt, you guys have been playing great baseball here in the month of April. What's been the difference to you so far?
Yeah, I think, everybody understanding their role. We're playing team baseball, and it's been everybody contributing. We've been throwing the ball well, playing good defense, and kind of situational hitting. So I think we're not relying on one way to win the game. I think we're a well-rounded team.
Nathan Eovaldi, a guy you faced a lot in your career. What's going to be the key to getting to him early?
He's got great stuff. He's a great pitcher. Comes right after guys. So I think the key is just be ready to hit, and it's gonna be a battle.
Good luck tonight, Matt.
Thank you.
Guys.
I know it's just all laundry to you, but I love those orange jerseys.
I absolutely love those. I love the black ones as well, but we know we're Friday night at Oracle Ballpark, and like I said in the open, the garlic fries is frying right now. This is going to be a fun matchup. It starts on the mound, though.
It certainly does, and the Giants take the field with a Hall of Famer wearing a Giants uniform for the first time. Justin Verlander at 42 has shown up here in San Francisco.
Absolutely. They're going to lean on him for his veteran leadership. One of 5 active players to win multiple Cy Young awards. I said, "Oh man, you still got it." He said, "I'm 5 minutes younger than you, Train." So that's why he's pitching at a high level right now. And like we talked about in open, the velocity has ticked up a little bit.
The only pitcher to win an MVP, a Rookie of the Year, and multiple Cy Young awards, Justin Verlander can still bring it as we take a look at his pitch arsenal.
Yeah, the fastball, the 4-seam at the top of the zone, that's been his bread and butter all day long. He'll occasionally throw a slider. I like the 12-6 conventional whooper-duper curveball. The changeup will play, especially to the left-handed batters, to try to get soft contact to the right side.
And our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. As the Texas Rangers get ready for their hacks against Verlander tonight. We'll show you their lineup presented by BetMGM. Wyatt Langford in his second major league season, figuring to be a big part of this Texas Ranger offense that's been a little dormant early on in the year. Adolis Garcia in the cleanup spot. Marcus Semien has been dropped to the 5-hole, and Corey Seager's not in there on the injured list.
Well, Bruce Bochy talked about just putting Josh Smith at the top of the lineup. He leads them in batting average, so you get somebody going, and also taking pressure on Marcus Semien, sliding him down in the lineup. He's someone that knocks the cover off the ball, especially when runners in scoring position.
There's Bruce Bochy, and just as he always dreamed, he is live on X right now. This live stream is up for the entire first inning on X for the Giants and the Rangers here tonight at Oracle Park. It is such a beautiful ballpark. Every time it takes your breath away stepping into this place.
To me, it's the best ballpark in all of baseball. It still feels new. Built about 25 years ago. I got a chance to play in here and took a couple L's as well, but this is the cathedral of San Francisco.
Certainly is. And Verlander, maybe he feels like new too, as his first pitch is punched foul by Josh Smith. He certainly looked like the Verlander of old, and not an old Verlander the other day against the Angels.
He told me, bottom line, Wayne, that he's finally healthy. I know he had a neck issue, but all of a sudden he comes into the season very motivated and still feels like he can pitch at a high level, and he's shown that thus far.
Oh,
Didn't get the call there from Austin Jones, the home plate umpire. 1 ball and 1 strike on Smith, who is the shortstop tonight for the Rangers and has become what Bruce Bochy says is one of the best utility players he's ever been around.
Yeah, every championship caliber team needs a Swiss Army knife, and he's the one guy hitting 333, which leads all the Rangers.
He could play really anywhere, and he's at shortstop tonight with Seager on the IL. Rangers believe that if Seager was healthy, Smith would probably be in center field tonight, getting more opportunities out there. Leody Taveras has had some trouble, and he's not in the lineup tonight.
See Wayne already going to that big 12-6 breaking ball. That's been his bread and butter, to be able to change eye level as well as velocity. They see the straight fastball, and all of a sudden you see that breaking ball pop out of his hand. More often than not, it freezes the hitter, and he gets that called strike.
He's had a lot of strikes over the years, no question about that. 61 strikeouts away from 3,500. 60 away. The first strikeout tonight for the future Hall of Famer.
Being able to command that fastball. He started Smith off with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball, and all of a sudden to put him away, you see that gear go up a little bit at 95, 96 miles an hour, and so already starting to pitch aggressively in the zone.
I mean, you almost start to think about guys like Nolan Ryan and Randy Johnson, some of the greats that were able to still maintain velocity at that age. Ball 1 to Wyatt Langford. I mean, that's kind of the territory Verlander is hoping to enter if he does pitch into his mid-40s as he says he wants to. Wyatt Langford's had a good start to the year, especially lately. He's 10 for his last 19 with 3 home runs. He has 6 now on the year to lead the ball club, and he's hit a couple this week.
You talk about bat speed and plate coverage. He has line-to-line power, and he never comes off that fastball, as you can see with that pass right there from Verlander's fastball.
Spent a little bit of time on the IL, had an oblique injury, but he was on pretty much just the minimum 10 days as he hits a fly ball to right field here, and it's handled by Mike Yastrzemski. But Wyatt Langford retired for the second out. He also hit a home run in Sacramento on Wednesday.
Sweet short swing, doesn't need a lot, Wayne, to generate that power. So he's allowing himself to let the baseball travel deep, and he said, man, I saw that pitch well, but up in the zone and then getting on top of that baseball.
Well, the Rangers will take pretty much anybody who can swing the bat right now. Smith and Langford batting 1 and 2, where it's usually Semien and Seager. And Semien hasn't hit much to start the year. As we said, Seager is hurt. And here's Jock Peterson batting 3rd with an average of .066. He only has 4 hits in his first 61 at bats. He finally snapped an 0 for 41 the other day.
Good take by Jock. Looks comfortable at the plate, just not getting the barrel to the baseball. And so when you start to look at that 0 for 20 something, 0 for 30 something, you start to press a little bit. It's only human nature, but guys like him, Berger, Semien, they have to get them going if they want to win that division ultimately.
Well, I'll tell you what else is human nature. Being a fan of a professional sports team. And Jock Peterson went to Palo Alto High School in 2010, the year the Giants beat the Rangers in the World Series. Well, he was drafted by the Dodgers that year, and yet he still showed up as a Giants fan at the championship parade.
I mean, being a Bay Area kid, you're blessed to have 2 teams when you're me and Jock's age, and so both sides have had a lot of success. And if you're from this side of town, being able to watch the even-year champs be successful and bring a title finally to San Francisco meant a lot of people here.
Ball 4 to Peterson. So first base runner of the game for Texas comes on a 2-out walk from Verlander. Rangers don't walk a lot. In fact, a .278 on base percentage entering today as a team. That is the second lowest walk rate that they possess and the second lowest on base percentage in all of baseball. Here's Adolis Garcia as he swings and misses here on the first pitch. Slider from Verlander.
Well, that's never been really the Texas Rangers' lifeblood. It's contact to damage and hunting the first couple pitches and putting the ball in play.
They swing a lot, no question about that. As Bailey with the backhand pick looked back Peterson to first. 1 ball, 1 strike on Garcia. 4 homers so far this year for Adolis Garcia. Hit a walk-off recently in a Nathan Eovaldi start. Reminded me of him doing that in the World Series a couple of years ago in that great Game 1 comeback the Rangers had. Here's a fly ball to left from Garcia. It hangs up for Elliot Ramos. And Justin Verlander on the mound in the Bay Area in Giant Orange. Works the scoreless first. By BetMGM with Mike Yastrzemski leading off. Willie Adames, Jung-Hoo Lee, Matt Chapman 2, 3, and 4. Though it's Wilmer Flores who leads the majors in runs batted in, but Lee has really turned into a dynamic player. 11 doubles already this year.
Yeah, I like how this lineup is structured. A little mix of power, contact, guys with speed. Playing Giants baseball at the finest right now.
It's Yastrzemski to start things off for San Francisco against Nathan Eovaldi. Well, you know he's going to be around the plate. Yeah. Strike one, only 2 walks with 31 strikeouts, the best walk to strikeout ratio in the majors.
Yeah, he's in tune with his mechanics. He likes where his arm slot is, and he's just going to grip it and rip it and challenge you within the strike zone.
He's gotten so good as time has gone on. Really, his best years have come after turning 30. Finally gotten healthy, which helped. I almost think about a guy like Curt Schilling, who had a great second half of his career. Right. Well, Eovaldi has put together his best moments in the second half of his career. Yastrzemski off the end of his bat, pops it to shallow left. It's a late start for Langford, but he gets there and makes the catch. 1 out. StatCast powered by Google Cloud, the arsenal for Eovaldi.
Yeah, we just saw the 4-seamer down in the zone. He really likes his fastball, but he also will go to the split finger. To me, that's his best put-away pitch, getting soft contact down in the zone, an occasional slider and cutter, but he's going to challenge you with that fastball to get you geared up and try to get you out in front with the split finger down.
We talked about Bruce Bochy and the titles he won here in San Francisco. The first championship for the Texas Rangers as well in 2023 as a strike is called to Willie Adames. And it was Eovaldi kind of playing the role of Madison Bumgarner in that 2023 postseason for the Rangers. Eovaldi was outstanding, going 5-0 for the Rangers in that postseason with a .295 ERA. Right center field. Adames gives it a ride. Back four near the wall, and making the catch is Harris, jumping up into the fence after he makes the grab.
Yeah, welcome to San Francisco, Willie. That ball was squared up, and in most ballparks, that ball is gone. You heard that contact. He was hunting the fastball the whole time, gets on top of one, and really somebody that's been sputtering along. They want to really get him going. Right at the warning track. Bruce Bochy really likes this young man Harris, says he can run really well, great route running, as you can see right there.
Adames only has 1 home run so far as a Giant. It came on the road. And with 2 outs, the batter Jung-Hoo Lee, who asked Bob Melvin today if Adames has lost any in right center field, and he said, well, everybody's going to here.
You can see that flag going across the pier right there. Very difficult to hit that ball out of right.
Lee lines a base hit. First one for the Giants tonight. A solid smash of a single for Jung-Hoo Lee.
Bob Melvin raved about this young man being able to come in spring training a little bit stronger, a little bit bigger. Now you're starting to see the power and the bat speed, but no matter who he's going up against, he doesn't have a lot of information against him, but it's truly impressive how many balls he's squared up so far early on in this season.
A good base runner out there too for the Giants. Lee has 3 steals. The Giants have been more aggressive running the bases this year, stealing more, taking more extra bases, trying to make maybe a little bit more of a jolt of enthusiasm into this ball club from what we had seen the last couple of years.
I'm talking to Will Clark before the game. It says, you know what they're doing? They're finally playing Giants baseball, especially in this ballpark. Not a lot of power, not a lot of home runs. So how do you able to manufacture runs? Taking the extra base, doing the little things, hitting behind the runner. Situational hitting, very key for this ball club to be successful here.
Was there a Giants legend you didn't talk to before?
They all show me some love. I love it. I told you, you're going to speak to D-Train, baby. I had all on my wall.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Chapman, who has just become an excellent player. Another Gold Glove last year, was his first in the National League. Now a 5-time Gold Glove winner, and he had 27 homers last year too, showing his power in a place that has lacked it, well, since your guy Barry Bonds was in a Giants uniform.
Chappie has 2 platinum gloves, and so he takes pride on both sides of the baseball. And getting a chance to talk to him and Matt Williams, it's like, man, these are some of the best that ever do it. And so once you get comfortable defensively, offensively, you can let it fly as well. And so you can tell he's look comfortable in a Giants uniform.
Well, he's a great defender and a good offensive player, and he's a leader in the clubhouse too. Polices things down inside, and managers always appreciate having a player that can do that. Bob Melvin certainly knows Chapman well from their days in Oakland as well.
And he was the same type of catalyst and player for him, Bob Mel over there as well. And so I thought it was going to be a continued beautiful marriage. And he says, you know, Bo Mel, we try to get a couple comments out of that manager meeting. He says, man, I just stay out of the way. I just stay out of the way and let them do their job.
That's what he says. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Chapman. He hits it hard through the middle of Eovaldi at least, and the second baseman Simeon makes the play. I don't know how that didn't hit Eovaldi.
Woo.
Inning ends as it's scoreless after 1. For those of you watching on X, switch over to Apple TV Plus for more. Thunderbolts, only in theaters May 2nd. Get tickets now. It's the second inning here in San Francisco, and Marcus Semien, another Bay Area native, leads things off for the Rangers against Justin Verlander. Goes after the first pitch, as he and Seager both often do.
Getting a chance to talk to him earlier, he says he feels fine. A little bit of hard luck, but he has a history of starting slow, and then all of a sudden, June, July, he can drop 20 home runs and knock in 30 people and back to normal.
Berkeley High School. He went to Cal. It's actually Cal night here at the ballpark here at Oracle Park. So they saved Cal night for a California Golden Bear.
Listen, the Bay Area takes care of their own. It's the bottom line. We're all brotherhood, sisterhood in this, and even when we're outside the Bay, it's like, you're from the Bay Area, huh? So a lot of good talent coming out of here.
He has 14 hits in his career against Justin Verlander. So you saw some of the pitchers on that list. You need longevity to be racking up the hits. The guy with the most hits against Verlander all time is Billy Butler. Billy Butler had 35 hits against Verlander.
Billy could hit, though. Billy used to get locked in, and he had power the other way, and Vert just kept being stubborn and throwing that fastball away, trying to blow him up. But better pass by Semien right there. And sometimes Verlander gets on the side of that slider and it backs up into his nitro zone. So Vert's got to watch out. And if you're Semien, you're just trying to fight.
He likes being home in San Francisco, where he has a 15-game hitting streak here at Oracle Park. Swing and miss. Verlander has looked good again here early on. His second strikeout tonight. The bottom of the first ended with Nathan Eovaldi being fortunate to have a 110-mile-an-hour swing off the bat of Chapman go just under him.
And as he finished, he was defenseless, especially falling off to the first base side. And so he gives that look like, wow, through the legs.
I want to try that miracle again.
Listen, I've had a bunch of those and my heart stops. And at that point, you're just trying to defend yourself as best as you can.
So 1 out, and Josh Young is the batter. Verlander finds the bottom of the zone to Young, back healthy at third base. Health has been something that has kept Young out of there from time to time.
All-Star 2003, number 8 pick out of Texas Tech.
Verlander with the swings and misses here early on. He struck out Smith swinging and Semien, and now ahead of Young.
You're starting to see the velocity change. That was 80 miles an hour. The fastball before was at 95, and so he looks pretty locked in about the release point and trusting his stuff to be able to command in his zone.
He's gained some velocity from where he was last year. He's feeling healthy again, and well, he still looks like he has a lot left in the tank. Young was jammed, floats it over his weight. He makes the right catch.
defending at a high level. When the Giants are successful, that's what they do best. Being able to steal out, show range, play clean, but also make the dynamic play. And so pitching, bullpen play, defense, and timely hitting, that's the Giants' lifeline.
Swing and a miss by Dustin Harris. Giants are number 2 in fielding right now in the National League. It's 95 on the outer edge.
Throughout Justin Verlander's whole career, Wayne, his mechanics have never changed. So having that type of strength and consistency when you're finally healthy, that's why the velo's coming back.
Harris punches one foul. How hard is that to do to keep steady for so long?
Well, when you're a 9-time All-Star, not very hard. But again, you have to trust your mechanics. Know what works for you. Up until the tail end of his career, he's never really battled injuries because he's consistent with his mechanics and consistent with his work ethic as well.
Harris able to foul that one off, and still no balls and 2 strikes. Justin Verlander has thrown 3 no-hitters. He's won 3 Cy Young Awards. He's been the MVP of the American League, and he's won the World Series as well. He has accomplished every single thing you possibly can in the span of his career, and yet he's still fighting and working and evolving out there on the mound.
He told me today, Wayne, he just loves it. He loves the competitive nature.
No balls and 2 strikes on Harris. Verlander with 9 times making it to the All-Star game, and as we said earlier, Rookie of the Year, check. MVP, check. Multiple Cy Youngs, check. No one's ever done that before.
Not at all.
No balls and 2 strikes on Dustin Harris. And that one could not stick in the glove of Patrick Bailey.
Bailey, one of the best in all of baseball. Framing, pop time, you call, you name it. Just caught it on the heel.
Verlander ahead, no balls and 2 strikes. Now 1 and 2. Verlander now 3,441 career strikeouts. Needs 59 for 3,500. He's 10th all time, and he could pass Walter Johnson and Gaylord Perry on the all-time strikeout list this year. Swing and a miss. Well, 1 more on his track to 3,500. He has 3 tonight and a couple of scoreless innings. Get this Siri trivia question out of the way so we can stop dancing around it. Who was the last Giants hitter to have 30 home runs in a season? Everybody knows the answer to this.
I'll give you 3 guesses. You only gonna need 1.
Wilmer Flores hits it hard. It's caught by the 3rd baseman Young.
Well, I tell you what, these Texas Rangers defenders are on their toes right now. A lot of loud contact, but they understand the game plan of the Giants. They're going to jump on the first pitch fastball. And Young, when he's healthy, he can go get the baseball with the best of them. Not at Chapman level yet, but if he stays healthy, he can develop into one of the best in the American League for sure.
When you're facing a pitcher that's around the plate, is there at least a comfort that there's going to be strikes to hit?
1,000%. One of our friends, John Smoltz, Hall of Famer, I used to love pitching against him because I knew everything was going to be around the plate. You do not want to face a Dontrelle Williams that might throw one off the backstop. Don't want to face that guy.
Well, here's Elliot Ramos, who was an all-star last year and really was a surge for the Giants offensively after he got called up in May. He was the first Giants homegrown outfielder to make it to the All-Star game since Chili Davis did it in 1986.
Chili's my guy too. Leads the Giants in hits since he's been called up, and so love his athleticism and power.
Turned into a nice year for Ramos at 22 home runs. A little slower start to this year. If he gets things going, and Lamont Wade too, could be a big boost for this Giants ball club that has scored some runs. They've been a bit more of a dynamic offense than they were last year. Not only Ramos off to a slower start, Wade hasn't hit much at all. Adames also the most expensive player in their lineup.
But I believe that all three will get going. Very important to have those guys and elongate that lineup, that you have about 5 or 6 guys that can beat you.
Ramos fouls one off. He was the opening day left fielder this year for the Giants, and that has been quite a train through town. Opening day left fielders 19 in a row. They have tied the all-time record for the most consecutive years having a different person start opening day in the same spot, starting with Barry Bonds in 07. Ball 4 to Ramos, who might be the one to break that streak next year. And he is on base. The first walk issued by Eovaldi tonight, and only his 3rd so far this year.
Yeah, after a lot of loud contact early on the ball game, it felt like Eovaldi overthrowing the split finger, overthrowing the slider, and trying to give himself a little more time to just calm down his emotions. And as a pitcher, when you hear that loud contact over and over again, it's like, man, maybe I don't trust my fastball right now early in this ball game. But the Giants just have a good game plan hunting early.
And here's Lamont Wade, who's been kind of the Giants' answer to Jock Peterson. Wade only has 6 hits in his first 64 at bats, although he does have 5 extra base hits, only 1 single so far for Wade, hitting .094. Eovaldi falls behind, 2 balls and no strikes. Mentioned it earlier that it's unusual for guys who've been around so long. Eovaldi's 35 now, that he and Verlander, and even pitching in the same division for some time, have not faced off against one another.
Well, injuries play into that, and also where you are in the rotation. And Nathan Eovaldi is somebody that's usually at the top of that rotation, but this is the type of matchup where both these guys get up for being able to propel their respective locker rooms into a victory. And so, you know, they don't shy away. They don't run from the smoke, as my daughter says. And so, you know what I mean, because they both possess high level frontline stuff. And right now, I think after all this loud contact, that plate gets really small to the pitcher because you don't want to miss over the heart. So now all of a sudden, if you're Nate, you're getting ball 1, ball 2, trying to make that perfect pitch, and now you're in hitter-friendly counts all of a sudden.
You think Chapman and Pat Burrell are watching D-Train videos on that iPad?
I got Pat in the book. I got Pat in the book. He never lets it down. But you know, this is new day and age. You're looking at something to be able to pick up and give yourself the advantage.
They might be watching the D-Train videos.
Look at that! Look at that leg kick, that tired act.
There's a strike to Wade. Did it matter to you when you were up against a future Hall of Famer or someone of that ilk?
Absolutely, Jim Thome. You know, I mean, you know, you want to go up against the best. You know, these are the best players in the world, and so you want to be able to stack up against guys and earn their respect.
3-1 on Lamont Wade, and he hammers one out to right center field. It's pretty deep, but Harris seems to have the beat onto the track. He makes the catch, and that's the second out as Wade gave it a ride, but it's a long fly out.
But if I'm Lamont, I like that pass. He put himself in a hitter-friendly count. He got the pitch he wanted, but that's a tough area of that ballpark to hit that ball out of. Just got enough of it. All these like just stay in, and so sometimes in a situation you have to pitch to the bigger part of that ballpark and say, hey man, here it is, and hit it.
Here's the catcher, Patrick Bailey. Wade with that fly out. This is a place that has been historically, unless your name is Barry Bonds, tough to hit a home run in. Over the last few seasons, it's been the toughest place to homer in all of baseball.
Good pitch. Yeah, that marine layer starts to come over there, and you'll see balls just jump up, and you think that has a chance, and it'll just hang up. And it doesn't matter whether it's right or left. Very difficult to hit for power consistently here. That's why Barry was such a bad man, because you knew he can win the ball game by himself in this ballpark or any ballpark.
Barry was able to pull a lot of home runs into McCovey Cove, certainly, but his power was so extreme that he could hit the ball out of any part of the ballpark. And that record breaker that he hit here in August of 2007 was a long one. Patrick Bailey bounces out, and it's a scoreless second inning for Eovaldi.
Tonight, 3 strikeouts. What do you like that to be right-handed?
Looks good, off to a good start. I mean, you know, we talked about earlier about how the velo tends to pick up as the game goes along. Really good vert to it, good feel for his breaking ball. So far, so good.
Willie Adames, Lamont Wade Jr. both giving 2 balls a ride. Those guys have been scuffling, but do you like what those swings tell you about where they are?
Both really good swings. That's just the wrong part to hit it in this ballpark when it's cold, but they should feel good about the swing.
Thanks, Bob.
You got it.
A pretty good swing here from Jake Burger as he hammers one off the wall in left center field, and it's a leadoff double for Burger here in the 3rd.
Very important player in that lineup. Got a chance to talk to him, and I said, man, you're going to be just fine. And he gave me that nod like, D-Train, you know I'm going to get my foot down today. Got a slider, middle, center cut, and almost hit that ball out of this ballpark on a line. So you know he squared that ball up.
Burger with only a .210 on base percentage to start the year. That's his 3rd double. Was he trying to solve a Rubik's Cube?
He said, save that baseball because I haven't been on base for a long time. That's what he was saying.
Kyle Higashioka takes ball 1. There's a little mini Rubik's Cube in the hotel room there in San Francisco. 2 balls, no strikes on Higashioka doing the catching tonight instead of Jonah Heim, the all-star catcher for the Rangers, not in there today. And Higashioka can hold his own, hitting .279 so far, and a good defender.
Coming off a year where he had a career high 17 home runs last year, and so the power will be there. And Bruce Bochy talks about how he raves about his game calling, and so you have 2 frontline catchers that you can trust and really match up with.
Bruce Bochy, the legendary manager of the Texas Rangers, and he really provided his legendary stamp here in San Francisco as that ball was rocketed foul. Yeah. Bruce Bochy won 3 championships here for the Giants and then gave the Rangers their first. It's not often that a non-Yankee manager has won 4 World Series. It's Bochy, Connie Mack, and Walter Alston. That's it.
Well, he stopped his Hall of Fame clock because, you know, I asked, I said, Bochy, do you still love it? He said, well, D-Train, absolutely. So when you win that much and you've never heard a bad word about him from his coaching staff or people that played under him, and he's another one. These are 2 old school managers that demand respect, but they also want the policing by the players as well in the locker room.
Another foul from Higashioka. Bochy now has the 7th most wins in baseball history, recently passed Dusty Baker, and he's going to pass Sparky Anderson for 6th real soon. His 4 world championships, all of them since 2010.
Yeah, I can't remember or recall. You're better at this, Wayne, of him managing a team that was struggling, but last year. That was the first time that I saw it.
That is a foul ball from Higashioka, 3-2. What you really don't see often is a team that struggles in back-to-back years, and I think in the case of the Rangers, they believe they're going to be right up there in the American League West this year. They entered today's play tied for first with Seattle. Fly ball to shallow right center. This likely won't move Burger off of second base as the right fielder Yastrzemski makes the play. The Rangers were world champions in 2023 as they made it all the way through. It's the only time they've been to the postseason in the last 6 years. Bruce Bochy's first year as Rangers manager could not have been more successful.
Well, you know, one of the things that I saw from that staff, from the other ones that didn't make it to the postseason, they were outstanding on the mound. And so, yes, they have to score runs in the West, but I firmly believe if you're going to be a world championship club, you have to play well on the mound.
Bouncer to Wade. That'll move Burger over, but it is the 2nd out of the inning as Verlander covers for the out. And the Rangers offense has not been so great so far this year. They struggled last year. They're kind of a middle of the pack offense last season after being a very good one in the World Series year, and now this year they're kind of near the bottom in a lot of offensive categories.
Yeah, they ranked 29th in Major League Baseball in runs per game at 3.2, and so very un-Texas-like of them. But Bruce Bochy believes that they're going to be able to get going, and they played in some cold weather. They're not a cold weather team, especially in Arlington. They're not.
And here's Wyatt Langford with 2 outs and Burger at third base. There's a line drive base hit, and the Rangers are on the board. Cut off by the left fielder Ramos. Langford trying for second base as Ramos couldn't handle the ball after it cut it off. And Langford able to advance to second as he gives Texas a 1-0 lead.
With only 44 minor league games and some time last year battling injury, Bruce Bochy raves about this young man and his work ethic and his maturity to be able to put him in the middle of that lineup and trust him in high leverage situations. And he got it done right there, hitting a double, squaring up a slider. And to be honest with you, lucky not hitting that ball out of the ballpark, because that's right in his wheelhouse.
They did rule it a double all the way for Langford as he drives in the first run of this game, his 9th RBI. And the Rangers have a run for Eovaldi. That's been something that's been tough to come by. In Eovaldi's first 5 starts, they've only scored a total of 8 runs for him.
Coming in this ball game, only 6 runs total of run support, Wayne, and so I have to tell Nate to take him to another Texas-sized dinner or something like that for your offense. Whatever it takes to get these guys going. But there's always one hard luck guy in the rotation. Just got to continue to throw strikes and make pitches.
Well, Eovaldi's one win, he had to pitch a shutout. They won it 1-0, so he took matters into his own hands.
Fine, I'll do it myself.
See this pitch to Peterson, a Hall of Fame call for Verlander.
Well, like I said earlier, Bailey's one of the best back there receiving and learning now under the tutelage of Buster Posey, who's one of the best. I mean, the Giants get another talented catcher for a long time.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Jock Peterson. Upstairs with the fastball at 95 from Verlander.
A little bit of old school pitching right there, standing Jock up.
There is Buster Posey, who is now the president of baseball operations for the Giants. Such a beloved hero in baseball terms here in San Francisco. As Peterson pops this one up, we'll see if it stays in play. It looks like it might. Over for it is Fitzgerald, and he leaps out, makes the catch, crashing into the netting. Nicely done by Fitzgerald to end the 3rd. Get some help with some protection from the net. And this inning comes to an end. The Rangers have the lead. In the bottom of the 3rd, we will hear from the Giants ace. Logan Webb will join us in just a moment. Welcome you back to San Francisco at Oracle Park. It is 1-0 Rangers as the Giants bat in the bottom of the 3rd. Tyler Fitzgerald leads off, and we are pleased to be joined by a guy I just called the ace of the Giants staff in Logan Webb. Does that sound weird to you when you have Justin Verlander sitting there next to you?
Yes, it's definitely weird. They've been kind of messing with me, calling the captain him and Robbie Ray. 2 Cy Young winners calling me that. Unbelievable.
But it's kind of true. I mean, you have kind of morphed into being the ace of this staff. What has that meant to you to be a leader amongst that group, especially with those 2 guys with you?
You know, those guys have helped me so much. We're all 3 of us try to be leaders. Trying to do our best every single day, every 5 days, go out there and give it our all. And you know, I think we've done a good job of that. So we got a great group, a couple young guys too that we're super excited about. So just helping out with those guys and just trying to set the right example.
What's been the tone in the locker room? Because you guys got off to a very, very hot start. So you guys struggled last year. All of a sudden, everybody's healthy coming into spring training. What's the tone in that locker room right now?
Yeah, you know, we had a lot of young guys come up last year. I think at the end of the year, at one point, I think out of 26 guys, we had 18 rookies, or 18 guys with under 2 years of service time. So, you know, we had a lot of young guys, and you're kind of starting to see, you know, Ramos last year, Fitzy last year, Rube, Birdsong. I mean, the list goes on. There's a lot of young guys. This guy's standing right next to me, Gerard, who's I think all of us are really excited to see come back. So it's, I think you got to go through some growing pains, and you know, we added some really good veteran pieces that are not only good for on the field, but also great clubhouse guys, and Willie and Justin. And so. Yeah, I think it's just come together. You know, we're all friends here. We all have a blast hanging out with each other in the clubhouse and on the planes and everything. So think when you got a good group like that, I think good stuff happens.
What have you seen or noticed as far as changes are concerned since Buster Posey took over and started to run the baseball side?
Yeah, you know, I've had this question a lot. When I played with Buster, he was that guy that you just didn't want to disappoint him. Like, you're pitching out there, I'm trying not to throw a pitch in the dirt, and he has to block. I just wanted to make him proud, almost. Like, you know what I mean? And I think it's kind of the same thing. You know, he comes in every day. He's around us. You know, Buster's amazing, and he's a winner, and I don't think he expects nothing but that. And I think that was the point that he made on the first days. We're expected to win. We're expected to compete and play baseball the right way, and I think it's kind of resonated with all of us.
Tell me about Bo Mel, because there's two legendary managers, obviously Bruce Bochy and Bob Melvin, but how is it just playing under him? Because you know what, he seems like a no-nonsense guy with a blend of this guys going out there policing themselves and having fun.
Yeah, Bo Mel's the best. You know, I was fortunate enough to have Boch my first 2 months in the big leagues, and you know, I nothing but love for Boch. He was around a little bit after that, so got to be with him after that, and now I got Bob here, who's very much an old school manager, and it's great. You know, Bob's one of those guys that his door's always open. He always wants to talk baseball, but he expects a lot out of us, and I think that's the most important thing.
Full count on Mike Yastrzemski. What's it like for you as a sinker baller, knowing that you have Matt Chapman at third base?
It's great. Our whole infield, right? Lamont, Matt Chapman, Willie Adames, Tyler Fitzgerald, Christian Cobb. I mean, the whole group. Casey's when he's playing. But yeah, you know, you pinpoint that one guy. Every night it seems like he's doing something that you hadn't seen before. It's pretty special over there.
Did you pay Yastrzemski to have a 10-pitch at bat while you got to do the interview here?
Yeah, it's really doing me a favor here.
I love it. I love it. How cool is it to have Barry Bonds and Matt Williams, guys we both looked up to just around? I mean, there's so many veterans around there that know the game and done it at the highest level. Do you get a chance to just talk to them and pick their brain about how you would attack them offensively, or just how hitters would attack them?
Man, Barry just tells me he would take me deep.
I tell you the same
every time he sees me, he goes, I just want to face you one time. I'm like, Barry, you're gonna hit a home run. But no, it's great. You talk to Barry and Matt. Both guys are so smart baseball, like it's unbelievable. You know, you watch some of these interviews that Barry's been doing, and you know, one of my favorites is the Greg Maddux documentary where he talks. I mean, it's incredible, and you know, I'm trying to get Barry, so he's like, I know what the pitcher's going to throw before he throws it. So I asked Barry, like, hey, what am I doing? He's like, I can't tell you. You're a pitcher. Come on, we're on the same team here.
Yeah, I tell Wayne all the time, I try to keep my hitters friend group to a limit. You know what I mean? Especially even on the golf course. I don't want to get too friendly with them. Yeah. So I feel you on that.
2 balls and a strike on Adames. We were talking earlier with Bob Melvin about the pride of the area. Bob Melvin's from the area. Yeah. Buster Posey moved back to the area about as soon as he could after retiring. And a lot of you guys from the Bay Area, or at least from around here, that are able to put on this uniform. What does the pride of San Francisco mean to you guys in terms of trying to make the Giants a winning organization again?
Yeah, it means everything. You know, I grew up about an hour and a half away from here. I was born 30 minutes from here. I did grow up on the other side of the Bay as a fan, but you know, I grew up watching some of these great teams that they had here, and you see how the city the city just has each other's back. Come on, Willie. There we go. You know, and when the Giants are good, the city's unbelievable, and I think we're trying to get back to that. You know, I think a lot of us are disappointed in how the seasons have gone the last couple, especially, you know, 2021 won 107 games, and kind of expected. You know, it was my first real full season, so I just expected that was going to be the way things were going to go, and baseball has a way of doing that to you. So yeah, I think just getting back to playing good baseball, winning baseball. You know, I think there's a way of playing Giants baseball that they've done in the past that has worked, and I think we're trying to get back to that.
How impressed are you with Lee now he's finally healthy in the lineup, because he seems a little bigger. They're starting to have some backspin with that power, and he's covering a lot of baseball, whether it's breaking ball or the fastball. His hands are lightning fast.
Yeah, he's another guy. It's unbelievable. You know, last year he started off so hot, and I think he had a little bit of a rough week or two, right? And then he got hurt, and man, that was devastating. Just because the energy he brings every day. He's a great dude. He's always having fun, laughing. You know, he wasn't able to be around us that much for a little while. So having him back and then having him healthy, you're seeing what he's capable of, and it's a pretty electric player.
Just missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Lee. It was a big hand for Lee as he came up to bat here. Willy Adames certainly brings a lot of energy. How much different is the clubhouse with these guys around?
Yeah, it's amazing. I think that's the biggest key to winning is having good clubhouse guys. And the guys that we brought in the last couple years, included with the guys that are coming up, it's been really fun to see it all come together now. You know, there's still 140 games left or so, whatever it is. So we've got a long ways to go, but early returns have been fun, and we're just taking it day by day, having fun while playing.
Now I got to call you out. I love pitching in New York, especially Old Shea Stadium. What's your favorite ballpark besides this ballpark? Oh, they got out of the inning. I'll ask you on the golf course, big dog. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Oh, what a tease. Lee strikes out to end the inning. Logan Webb, thanks for your time.
Here on Apple TV Plus from San Francisco, as we take a look at the odds to win the AL pennant courtesy of BetMGM. See the Rangers at +600. And guys, you talked about the offense. The Rangers still believe, even with the slow start, that's going to be the key for them to win the AL pennant and get back to the World Series.
All right, Russ, thank you very much. Adolis Garcia swings and misses. This is a guy right here that needs to be a part of that offense. He's changed his swing some. He's trying to be a little bit quicker to the baseball and take more pitches. We'll see if that in the long run pays off for Garcia.
Yeah, last year of his contract, this is a very important piece, especially in the power department. You've seen him come up with a lot of late inning heroics. But talking to Bruce Bochy, he wants all his guys. If he believes they're going to win a division, they need to have regular years, not outstanding years, just regular posted years. And so really got to get him going.
Garcia flying out his first time tonight, and he's about to fly out again to the same person as Elliot Ramos makes the catch. One away here in the 4th inning. It's a little bit of a cool night here in San Francisco. Not too bad. It's not that windy. See, the flagpoles are pretty quiet.
It's a beautiful night, beautiful Bay Area night, but I'm now Scottsdale soft. I'm too used to that heat.
You get you an orange puffy coat like that. If
yeah, they know I work for the Dodgers, though. They give me a hard time at lunch today.
Well, you make your choices.
Hey, listen, you know what? They lucky I didn't have my ring yet. I wanted to make it out there in one piece. Those Giants fans don't play that. They give me a pass because they know I'm from the other side of that bridge, though, Weezy, so we'll be all right walking home.
All right, good. One out as Marcus Semien bats here. And he drives one toward left center field. This one hit pretty well. Ramos is out near the wall, and he has room to make the catch right in front of that 399 sign.
You saw Garcia, now Marcus Semien, they're shaking their head. Both had loud outs, and so this is how that ballpark plays. And if you're a pitcher for the Giants or your pitcher opposing team, once it gets to that marine layer in the middle of the innings, you can really be aggressive within the strike zone.
2 outs in the 4th, and Josh Young, the batter. Rangers scored in 3rd with a couple of doubles, one from Berger and one from Langford, as Young swings and misses. Oracle Park in San Francisco. It's beauty unless you're trying to hit a ball out of here.
You're going to have to do an extra set of pull-ups in the weight room to get that ball out of here.
No balls and a strike. Young is 0 for 1 so far today. Popped out to first. Lamont Wade made a nice play over near the Texas dugout. A lot of sailboats out there on the water earlier today. It was some kind of Golden Gate Yacht Club race or something was happening with the sailboats out there.
We're going to be there next year, Weezy. Don't worry.
There's a casual social race. What kind of race is that? I want to see them going at it.
I'm not picking the winner. They just want to show off their boats, man. Rightfully so.
Saw one that said "just dreaming," so I was good for
I
that
like
one.
that. Show me the money is on the back of my boat. Chips with dip.
That's a good one.
That's what I want to see on the back of the boat, Weezy. Be my first mate.
There you go.
That's me all day, Weezy. That's us, baby. Next year we're gonna have our own boat. We're gonna do the Open right on the boat. We're gonna do it.
The balls and 2 strikes on Josh Young. As Verlander has that one fall off the plate. It's 1-2. Verlander so far just 1 run allowed on 2 hits. He has 3 strikeouts tonight. He's trying to get his first win as a Giant. He thought he had it in Anaheim last Sunday. The Angels stormed back with 4 runs in the bottom of the 9th and took what could have been win number 263 away from Verlander.
Well, I mean, if he keeps pitching like this, where he's efficient thus far, continues to attack the zone, the wins will come. You only can do what you can do as far as commanding the baseball and staying healthy. And right now, looking at the velocity and the command, he's going to be just fine.
It was on Sunday in Anaheim when the Angels were able to pull off quite a comeback. Joe Adell lined one over the head of Chapman and uncleared the bases. A 3-run double won the game as the Angels walked off the Giants and Ryan Walker. One ball, 2 strikes on Young. Tapper right back to the mound. Verlander handles that and works a 1-2-3 inning.
Time for the Sage manager interview with Bruce Bochy. Bochy, guys, lead 1-0 on an RBI double by Wyatt Langford. He's been so much of this offense. Is this the best you've seen him at the plate right now?
Oh, he's playing great ball. He really is. I just came off the IL. He was playing great before then. Had a little setback with the tight lower back, but he's such a good player. Both sides defensively, he runs the bases well, and he can get a big hit for you.
2 1-2-3 innings from Justin Verlander to start this game, but you guys are starting to put some at-bats together. What have you liked about the at-bats so far?
Well, early, yeah, we had a quick inning there, but we're stretching them out a little bit, showing a little bit more discipline, and got a couple big doubles there. It takes a key hit to get a run in. That's kind of been our issue, but tonight we got an early one.
Thanks, Bochy.
You got it.
Well, Bruce Bochy, we talk a lot about Verlander being a shoe-in Hall of Famer. Well, so is the manager of the Texas Rangers, Bruce Bochy. Matt Chapman leading off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. I wonder where Bob Melvin ends up as far as career wins go. He's got over 1,600 now. We saw the ball in his office today. He don't want to talk about it, but his 1,600th career managerial victory was in a frame behind him. And he said, well, I didn't put that there.
That he didn't want. That he did not want. He said, I asked for the other pitchers up, and then I just looked down, and but that's typical Bowmel. He's always going to deflect the positivity, the accolades, and what have you. But he has a level of expectation not only for his coaching staff, but his squadron. And I like messing with him and getting him to crack him a little smile once in a while. He knows that. But one of the legends, in the Bay Area for the East Bay, and so. Growing up here, loving the game of baseball, you've been blessed to see talent on both sides for a very, very long time.
Hey, if they do win a World Series here in San Francisco with Bob Melvin as the manager, he starts to have his own Hall of Fame candidacy at that point. He certainly has plenty of wins. Chapman didn't seem to hold his swing, and he was called out on strikes by the home plate umpire, Austin Jones. So Chapman is punched out. 3rd strikeout for Eovaldi.
Yeah, looking like he was trying to hunt that fastball, and all of a sudden the depth change at the final. That's that split change, Wayne. We talked about that in the open, and when he throws that baseball down with conviction, it tunnels with that fastball, so it's hard to hold up.
Batter now is Wilmer Flores, who is the designated hitter for the Giants, and who entered the day with a major league leading 27 RBIs. Just 22% of the Giants' runs batted in.
Comes up with a lot of clutch hits. Keeps his heart rate down. Never comes off that fastball, whether it's from a right-hander or a left-hander. But really has made a nice career for himself coming over to a very difficult ballpark for hitters to hit.
Problem for Flores is that he doesn't hit nearly as much when the bases are empty like they are right now.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. He likes it with the ducks on the pond. He seems to lock in and focus better.
He's hitting about 500 points more from an OPS standpoint with men on base than with the bases empty so far this year, and that's kind of been a trend throughout his career. He's had so many clutch hits, a lot of walk-off hits in his career. He swings and misses here, and it was back to that splitter for Eovaldi, who now has 3 consecutive strikeouts and 4 on the night. So 2 outs, and the batter will be Ramos. We asked earlier our Siri weekly trivia question, the last Giant to have 30 homers in a season. Well, you have to go all the way back to 2004 when Barry Bonds hit 45 home runs that season.
That was a light year
for Barry.
Bad man.
Elliot Ramos swinging and missing here. 762 is the final number for Bonds, number 1 all time. 2007, his last season in the major leagues, in the year that he broke Henry Aaron's all-time home run mark. 1 ball, 1 strike on Elliot Ramos. But you know, as the Giants have not had a 30 homer man since then, every other team in the majors has had at least one since 2019.
But you see the importance of Barry Bonds and what he meant to this ballpark, what he meant to this organization, and being able to hit in this ballpark with power on a consistent basis, and sometimes not seeing a pitch for 2 to 3 days, and all of a sudden getting 1 pitch to hit and not missing it. It is truly remarkable, that career that he had, especially in a Giants uniform. And so I always like to mess with him and say, you remember when I struck you out, Barry? He says, why are you going to bring that up?
Up the middle, grounds it to the second baseman Simeon, who retires him with a backhand to end the inning. Well, Eovaldi has certainly settled in. A 1-2-3 fourth.
With your Apple TV Plus studio update, Skeens Day there in LA. How about this? In the first, he gets Freeman to strike out swinging. Conforto the next inning looking, has struck out 4 through 4, now 2-0. Pirates lead, fellas.
Paul Skeens grew up an Angels fan in Orange County, pitching in Los Angeles tonight against the Dodgers.
That's the second time he's got a chance to face them, and you saw the fireworks he did in Pittsburgh last time. It seems like he's geared up again once again.
First time on a SoCal mound as Paul Skeens faces the Dodgers tonight. Pittsburgh with that 2-0 lead early, and Skeens has 4 strikeouts in 4 innings, matched up with Yoshinobu Yamamoto, who has walked 4 tonight. Also has 5 strikeouts. This one is popped up by Harris on the infield. And makes the catch. So Willy Adames in the background there behind Chapman. For more on Adames, here is Russell Dorsey.
Yeah, guys, Willy Adames, obviously one of the biggest free agent acquisitions this offseason, but talking to evaluators and executives, outside of Juan Soto, Willy Adames to a lot of people was the second best free agent in this year's class. And it's not just for the run production or the homers, it's for who he is in the room, a winner and a guy that people can rely upon. Talking to Buster Posey, he said that's one of the really big things they wanted to bring into this organization this offseason. People that knew the game, but good people as well, on and off the field. Guys?
Now, to me, it's become, I think, a bit overblown. The Giants have missed out on some of the marquee name free agents, because look at their lineup now, and you see Verlander on the mound tonight on top of it. You look at their lineup, and back to back to back in the order, you have 3 guys that they've spent $100 million on or more. 182 for Adames, the big contract for Chapman, over $100 million for Lee as well.
It was over $300 million just 2 off seasons ago. So, you know, I talked about it in the open. That's a lot of garlic fries they're giving out around here, and so they're constructing a team. And I agree with Russ. It's also a character thing and an environment that they want in that locker room, a culture thing. And so they've gotten back to the old school feel of the guys being able to play good baseball and everybody respecting each other.
Strike 3 called to Berger. That is the 4th strikeout for Verlander tonight, who's been sharp again, just as he was his last time out.
Yeah, last time Berger hunted a slider. This is a changeup tunneling off that fastball and locks him up down in his zone. Painted. That's why he's going to the Hall, first ballot.
2 outs, and Higashioka will bat now. One thing that Buster Posey has talked about is the civic responsibility that he feels and he believes that an overseer of a baseball franchise should have. That this is ultimately for the people. This is for the fans. This is for the people of San Francisco. And in the Rangers case, the people in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, in the state of Texas down there. It's for them, and trying to be able to put a team on the field that your area can be proud of.
I mean, that's the beauty of sports, right, Wayne? You know what I mean? Being able to represent a city, a region, and providing joy. Bowmel talked about the way they were able to come from behind, and all of a sudden he walks down the Embarcadero and everybody's joined, having fun. All you see is black and orange, the energy, and also the other way, when they have tough losses, they feel it with them. And so, you know, sports inspires people. So if you go at your job with that attitude, I don't think you're going to fail, especially if you're a Buster Posey who, you know, his track record speaks for himself. And so far, so good.
And it really speaks to that civic responsibility that Buster Posey feels for this area. Because he didn't have to come back. He won all the World Series. He's a Hall of Fame catcher. He did everything he possibly could to represent the Giants well. He didn't have to come back, and especially a lot of guys come back as a special advisor. Right. They have a little ambassador role. No. He's running the team.
Absolutely. Moved back from Georgia. You know, said, I like seeing that fog roll over and burn off around noon.
Fly ball off the bat of Higashioka as Jung-Hoo Lee sets up to grab it. Verlander's retired 7 in a row. Collection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, t-shirts, and more. Visit MLBshop.com, the official source for your favorite team gear. There's the manager of Team USA in the World Baseball Classic, Mark DeRosa. Bengie Molina also won the World Series with the Angels. Hunter Pence, a former Ranger and a Giant. Starting that was Will the Thrill.
My guy. Wanted to throw like Dave Stewart and hit like Will Clark. Had a nice little conversation with him today, and I just love that the Giants continue to bring and keep guys around like Barry Bonds and Will Clark and Matt Williams, guys that have done it at a high level in the Giants uniform.
Really a great career. Will Clark was a tremendous offensive player. He was a good defender at first base too. There's number 24 for Willie Mays, although Will Clark wore that number 22 in his career. Bouncing ball fair down the third base line for Lamont Wade. Langford cuts it off, holds Wade to a single, only his second single so far this year, but leadoff man on for the Giants here in the 5th inning.
Yeah, it'll even out for him. He had a couple hard hit balls early in the ball game, but all of a sudden allows that split finger to travel deep. You got to tell, when guys are struggling, use the whole field. So nice piece of hitting, not letting up on that swing and not trying to pull that ball away, because if he tries to pull that ball, he's going to hit the top half of the ball softly to the right side.
Wade was just 1 for his last 25 until that base hit. The Giants have their leadoff man on, and now Bailey lofts one toward right center field. Harris backing up to get in position to make the catch. 1 out. Anthony Valdi has been sharp tonight, 4 strikeouts. He's gotten some swings and misses with his splitter, as we show you StatCast powered by Google Cloud.
Yeah, he realized early that he's going to have to make an adjustment. The Giants did a good job of hunting his fastball, so all of a sudden he made an adjustment the second time through the lineup, using that nasty split finger, especially to the right-handed batters. But that's a devastating pitch, even if the hitter's ahead in the count.
Wade is aboard with 1 out now, and Tyler Fitzgerald the batter. Fitzgerald's been swinging the bat well over the last couple of weeks, although he shows bunt here. 1 ball and no strikes. Fitzgerald said it took a conversation with Barry Bonds to set him straight offensively.
That's the right person to talk to, but you know, Barry's outstanding at just making it simple and just reaching, catching the baseball. And really what he's trying to say is slow the game down. Sometimes your heart rate gets up there in big situations, or if you're struggling and you want to get that big hit and try to have that hero complex, but you have to allow yourself to let the baseball game come to you.
Fouls this one off. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fitzgerald said he fell into some bad habits after he hurt himself in spring training. And he said Barry got him back on track. just trying to get on top of the ball and backspin it a little bit better. So he got rid of some of those bad habits thanks to that conversation with the legendary Barry Bonds. That's to the backstop. An advancement for Wade as he takes second on a wild pitch.
Eovaldi trying to use that slide step, and his hand never really got on top of the baseball. So that was a ball right out of his hand. You can see it. You can see that hand, and that's a tough cover for anybody to be able to block that and knock that down, especially at that type of velocity upstairs.
So man in scoring position for the Giants, and a fly ball off the bat of Fitzgerald. Will get out of play, foul. First time the Giants have had a man get to second base tonight. You see Fitzgerald heating up these last 2 weeks. Moving over from shortstop to second base after the Adames signing. He can here to certainly give the ball a ride. Remember, he had that stretch last year where he had 8 home runs in 10 games.
Definitely has some power, can square it up, and I love the stolen base component too. So far 5 for 6 for stolen bases, so he can do a little bit of everything, but showing that power and that leverage, man. He's a wiry guy with some strength.
Orlando Cepeda on that list. Fitzgerald taps it toward third. Young waits, grabs it and fires it in time. A close play, but Fitzgerald's out.
Love what Josh Young did. He wanted to initially charge at that ball, but he made sure he gave himself a stutter step and some time to be able to get that ball on a good hop and fire a strike, because Fitzgerald is hustling out of that box. The momentum's already pushing him to first base side. Bang, bang play. Love that stutter step, though. That's baseball at its finest. Not panicking, but understanding he's got to get that ball out of his glove quickly.
So now Yastrzemski bats with 2 outs, and Wade still at second base. Ball 1 from Eovaldi. Yastrzemski has struck out and flied out tonight. 4 hits for the Giants, make that 3 hits. They've all been singles. Eovaldi has racked up 4 strikeouts. So has Justin Verlander on the other side in 5 innings for the Giants. It's a roller foul, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike.
Eovaldi tends to get tougher, especially with runners in scoring position. So right now he's just trying to slow the Giants offense down, going a lot of sliders, a lot of split fingers, and not giving into that fastball, initially pitching backwards if he sees a opening, be able to throw the fastball at the top of the zone.
1 ball, 1 strike on Yastrzemski. Now 2-1. Yastrzemski's also done well with men in scoring position this year, hitting .316. He's the grandson of the Hall of Famer Carl Yastrzemski, keeping that name alive and well throughout Major League Baseball. Strike at the knees makes it 2-2.
In fairness, that ball down in the zone is being called for both sides all ball game long, and so when it's that close down, you're going to have to engage if you're a hitter.
It's right across the top of the knees. Looked like a strike.
That's all you can ask from an umpire, is just the consistency of the zone.
Giants threatening for the first time tonight, down 1-0 in the 5th. Yastrzemski floats one toward left center field. It's a long run for Harris and Langford, but it's Langford, the left fielder, to make the catch. Welcome back. Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV Plus alongside Dontrelle Willis and Russell Dorsey. I'm Wayne Randazzo. We're at Oracle Park in San Francisco, where the Rangers have a 1-0 lead on the Giants. RBI double in the 3rd inning from Wyatt Langford, the only run so far. It came off of Justin Verlander, who has otherwise looked very sharp. He's only allowed 2 hits. He has 4 strikeouts, and he has returned to his Hall of Fame form here over his last couple of starts.
I think the sequencing has been outstanding today. Him and Bailey have been on the same page all day long, and so he's been efficient. And now, second, third time around the lineup, starting to mix in that breaking ball to slow the hitter down and make the fastball play up even higher.
And he's always had a lot of success against the Rangers anyway in his career. No balls, 2 strikes on Smith. Lined up the middle. Adames knocks it down. Picks it up. The throw is too late. Infield hit for Josh Smith. That was a bullet up the middle, and Adames could only knock it down.
Yeah, Verlander tried to sneak that fastball by him, and Smith was all over it. Hits it right back up the box, and Adames did a good job of knocking it down. It just caught him on the heel. Thought he had enough time to fire and get Smith over there, but Smith was hustling the right out of the box as soon as he hit that and saw it bounce off his glove.
In terms of outs above average, Adames is ranked among the worst defenders so far. Here's a drive out by Langford, left center field. It's over the head of Lee, and it one hops off the wall. Lee's going to try to get it in, but Smith's on his way to the plate. The relay will not be made, and Wyatt Langford's second RBI double tonight makes it 2-0 Texas.
He's been locked in early in the count, hunting anything that's above the belt. And now this is the second time you heard loud contact off of Wyatt Langford, being able to hunt this. This is a four-seamer right over the middle, and I thought it had a chance to go. Now all of a sudden the Rangers offense is cooking. Great read by Smith to make sure that ball was down. He says, we're going to score you, especially in this tightly contested ball game. Trying to make a play at the plate, but no play at all. And now the Rangers up 2-0.
That ball was absolutely hammered. Now the Giants are going to ask to see if this ball was out of play or not, which would make it an automatic double and put Smith back at third. So we'll see if that's the case. Meanwhile, they did give an error to Adames. They did not call that a base hit. Pretty hard hit ball, and Adames got the glove on it but couldn't squeeze it, and he ends up getting an error. So Langford's RBI, at least for now, comes after that.
Ooh, that ball was out.
Well, it's worth noting there's a little yellow line out there in left center field, as our replay review is powered by Zoom. And if it hits to the right of that yellow line, it's out of play, and it kind of skipped up off the yellow line and then to the right of it, which means it probably is out of play here. See that yellow line to the right of it is out of play, and I think it did hit off the right side of that yellow line.
Which puts Smith back at third base, correct?
Yes. This will not be an RBI for Langford, but it will be his second double of the game, and it will give us a chance to say hello to Ted Barrett. Ted, what are you seeing?
Yeah, you're right. Just as you explained it, if it hits to the right of that yellow line, it is out of play. If it hits to the line or to the left, it's in play. So we'll see what they see in replay.
The call is overturned. The ball struck an area out of play. Runners will be at second and third.
So at least for now, the Rangers do not get that run home. And Ted, thank you very much for your explanation.
Could be a big play right there, especially with two bats with Jock Peterson and Garcia, guys that have struggled thus far early in the season.
A little piece of yellow tape saved a run there.
Hey, listen, whatever it takes. It's called home field advantage for a reason.
Well, still second and third, nobody out. As Verlander goes to work against Jock Peterson. First pitch misses for ball one. So they gave Adames an error to start the inning. Langford with his second double tonight. 108 off his bat. Third time through the order, a couple of hard hit balls to start. Infield is in for the Giants. Peterson has had such a miserable time to start the year. He hasn't even driven in a run yet. No RBIs in 62 at bats. Guy hitting third tonight, Jock Peterson.
Having a hard time with velo inner half. So Verlander's attacking that. You saw the first pitch fastball right off the plate at 95. These next two pitches are the same ones, and Jock Peterson trying to get his hands and pull inside, but just a little tardy.
Well, Verlander hunting a strikeout. He has the 10th most in baseball history, and he's ahead here. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ground ball. It is rolled off the glove of Peterson. Peterson, or rather a Fitzgerald, into right field. It scores the run as Smith comes in. Langford goes to third, and at long last, Jock Peterson has his first RBI.
Well, Jock did an excellent job shortening the swing, recognizing the slider mid-flight. I don't like this call right now because Jock saw nothing but fastballs and had a tough time, and all of a sudden you speed up his bat throwing the slider down, and so the percentage of him being able to barrel it and just put it in play goes up tremendously, and he just shortened himself up, and he said, I'm building.
Finally solved that Rubik's Cube on his first RBI. So it's 2-0 here now as the Rangers have the lead. It is an earned run because they've gone back and ruled that play of Josh Smith hitting it off the glove of Adames as a base hit, which probably should have been from the outset anyway. So Smith had an infield hit, he scores. Langford doubled, he's at third, and now Peterson, after an RBI single with the drawn in infield, giving the Rangers a 2-0 advantage here. First and third, still no outs, and Garcia swings through the fastball upstairs.
He tried to hit that ball back to Arlington.
Giants have their bullpen up. It's Randy Rodriguez getting ready. Giants bullpen's been really good. And Rodriguez has been especially good out of that pen. Two balls and a strike on Garcia. He held his swing. 3 straight hits to begin this inning, scoring at least 1 so far. And Texas now a 2-0 lead with Nathan Eovaldi cruising through his 5 scoreless innings so far.
Verlander trusting that fastball at the top of the zone. That's been his calling card for his whole career, and Garcia's determined to try to get on top of that, especially with another runner in scoring position. And this is a situation, situational hitting. Even with the infield back, your job is try to hit this ball in the air. And if you're Verlander, try to get a swing and miss.
It's a little roller down the third base side. If it stays fair, it's a run, but it does roll foul. Garcia has typically been a guy who strikes out a lot, just 20 in 89 at bats this year. He's cut down on his strikeout rate from years past. And Verlander could still use one here with his pitch count climbing at 86 pitches in 5+ innings. Swing and a miss. Verlander goes to 96 upstairs to get a big out on Garcia.
Yeah, he saw the hole in Garcia, especially at the top of the zone, and knew he was going to off-ride, and then went up to another gear with that fastball, and that might have been his best fastball all night. A big strikeout for Justin Verlander.
He has 5 now in the game, and that's the first out of the inning. Gives the defense a chance to think about a double play off the bat of Semien. He has it into 2 double plays so far this year.
96 miles an hour fastest pitch all night, and so it's been hovering around 94, 95, but in a situation like that, you felt like this is the ball game right here. Got to find a way to get out of it and give my offense a chance.
Here's a ground ball in the hole, a sliding backhand pick, out at second, out at first, double play. What a play by Adames to start a 6-4-3 to win the inning.
I'm not going to lie, Wayne, that was slick, especially with Semien running nice backhand, excellent feed. Great turn by Fitzgerald.
Willy Adames leads off in the bottom of the 6th inning. He made a tremendous play with a backhand sliding pick to start an inning-ending double play in the top of the 6th inning.
How many times you see a player get an excellent defensive play to shift the momentum, and all of a sudden that confidence at the plate.
Quality start from Verlander. 6 innings, 2 runs. He's still on the losing side of this, as the Giants haven't scored. Now keep in mind, San Francisco has had a lot of come from behind wins this year. They've had 8 of them, and in all 8 they were down by 2 runs or more. So the Giants certainly don't feel like they're out of this game, only 2-0. Baldino will try to keep them out of this game. He's been really good tonight.
Excellent sequence right there. You tell Willy Adames is hunting the fastball and that swing count. Drops a breaking ball at 75 miles an hour.
Nasty pitch there, and Eovaldi gets another swing and a miss for a strikeout.
They're just not covering the split finger, and being able to tunnel that pitch with the fastball, very difficult to do. I mean, at 88, 89 miles an hour, Wayne, that's as hard as my fastball. So the hitter gets his foot down, and all of a sudden, sometimes it has a slider action where it goes away from the right-handed batter, as well as having depth change down.
It looks like a slider almost the way that one especially did, but it was the splitter, and it's been a swing and miss pitch for Eovaldi tonight. Now Lee cracks one foul.
Lee's got some lightning quick hands. I mean, it seems like every time he's at the plate, the contact is loud.
He's a lightning bolt for this Giants ball club. The section of fans called the hooligans.
I like that.
Hooligans. Here's a bouncing ball foul. You see them pop up around Oracle Park. It's a group of 51 fans for his jersey number. They wear matching t-shirts. They have the anime fire inspired wigs. And they love Jung-Hoo Lee here in San Francisco, and rightfully so. He's the kind of player that you want to come to the ballpark to watch.
He's electric, not only offensively, but he seems to be an elite route runner, can go get the baseball with the best of them, and relishes interaction with the fans as well.
He's been a dynamic offensive player this year so far. Trying to set the Giants up here in the 6th. Loops it to the left field line. Langford can't reach it. It's a foul ball. It's a foul ball. The fans are reacting as if it's fair. Langford's playing it through, but the third base umpire, Nestor Sejas, said it's a foul ball.
Nestor did a good job of hustling down there. He knew that play was going to be very close to the line, especially the way that Wyatt Langford was running. And the ball was fading away from him. Wow, by a couple ball lengths. Baseball's a game of inches, Weezy.
Langford, a good effort, but it is foul. Not a ton of room in that left field corner anyway, as far as foul ground is concerned.
Well, that's why Langford got down early. He didn't want to be in a situation where all of a sudden he's trying to run into the wall and try to catch the ball at the same time and get himself hurt. So that was a smart play.
Well, the Rangers certainly need Langford on the field. He's already missed a little bit of time this year, 0-2. And that just missed the inside corner.
The one thing that I'm impressed with Lee this year, with not having a lot of information against the pitchers that he's facing, that take right there, most hitters would offer at that ball. That ball is only 2 ball lengths off the plate, but he took it easy.
Melvin said, you know, some of those takes have been the most impressive thing about Lee this year.
Because as a pitcher, I'm like, wow, that was a good pitch, and he didn't even offer at it. And so it sends an indicator that you're going to have to beat him within the strike zone.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Lee. That one's in there at the knees for strike 3. 6th strikeout for Eovaldi, 2 in a row to start the inning.
It was only 91 miles an hour, so I would want to see the replay of this at grip, because it didn't slide too much. It didn't move, so I think it threw Lee off because he thought it was going to be a slider down, so it was a cutter. Didn't have a lot of movement, but just enough to hold him up.
There's a breaking ball strike to Chapman. Even in general this year, Eovaldi's velocity is down from where it was last year, but the results aren't down, just the velocity is. He's been able to work around it. 1 ball, 1 strike on Chapman.
He's learning how to pitch with this stuff and being able to show the ability to follow swings and learn how to navigate lineups.
A lot of his pitches down 2 miles an hour, in particular his 4-seam fastball. He has been spotting his pitches so well to begin the year, and now with his effort tonight, he has 37 strikeouts against only 3 walks. The Rangers entered today with the 3rd best starting rotation ERA in the major leagues, only behind the Mets and the Tigers.
Last time they were top 10. I believe they were 6th and 7th in baseball as far as the starting pitching rotation ERA, and they tasted champagne in Arlington.
Last time they were in the top 5, you have to go back all the way to 1983. They had the likes of Charlie Huff and Rick Honeycutt and Frank Tanana.
Rick Honeycutt. I like Rick Honeycutt. That's my guy.
Ended up in Oakland after that.
That's my guy. As long as they're able to keep Eovaldi healthy. DeGrom, get 25 starts out of him.
DeGrom looked good yesterday. Patrick Corbin's thrown the ball pretty well. Tyler Mahle has been unbelievably good.
He's turning to be an all-star, man.
2-2 on Chapman. Did he go around? He did not. Ball 3.
Good take by Matt Chapman. Last time he faced Eovaldi, had a little check swing where he offered out a slider he didn't like. Did a good job this time holding up.
3-2 now on Chapman. The Giants trying to get something going against Eovaldi. He shut them down so far. And Chapman strikes out. Nathan Eovaldi punches out the side of the 6th.
Being able to throw the fastball with conviction. Pair that up with the nasty split finger. The cutter in the middle of the plate. Pitching at his finest.
Cast powered by Google Cloud. Justin Verlander, all things considered, had a pretty good night.
He had a solid night. You see the pitch mix, being able to throw the fastball at the top of the zone, but the changeup and slider played as well. And so through everything, I thought he commanded the zone very, very well. This pitching matchup did not disappoint.
No, certainly not. Verlander's 6 innings, 2 runs allowed. Here's a line drive towards center. A good jump from Lee, and he's only able to keep it in front as Josh Young lines a base hit against Randy Rodriguez. Well, even base runners have been tough to come by against Rodriguez, as Young is on to start the 7th.
Yeah, Young got a slider over the middle of the plate, got on top of it, but it got down right in front of Lee. Lee had an outstanding jump on it, but with the top spin, just couldn't get under it.
Rodriguez has pitched in 10 games. He has not allowed a run or a walk in those 10 outings. He is the first Giants pitcher dating back to at least 1901 to do that. It's high and tight to Harris. And Rodriguez has 13 strikeouts in 9 2/3 innings, and relies heavily on his slider and pinpoint control here early on. Verlander struck out 5 in his 6 innings, gave up 2 runs on 5 hits. A run in the 3rd inning and a run in the 6th. Two balls, no strikes on Harris. A good cut and fouled it back. You know, interestingly, we see the number of splash hits up on the wall here at Oracle Park, and over the years 106 the magic number of splash hits. But only 8 American League players have hit one into McCovey Cove, and 4 of them did it as members of the Rangers. It's a one-hopper foul.
It's very difficult to do because you not only have to square the baseball up, but the launch angle needs to be consistent too. And so just because you look at 309 and you're thinking to yourself, oh man, I can do that easy. No, you cannot. Especially starts to go down that line, man. It widens quick and you see it in the gap, 415. So that's grown man land over there.
This one popped up by Harris to shallow center, easy for Lee. 1 out in the 7th inning. Your team, your players. Baseball your way. Get personalized highlights and push notifications just for you. Download the MLB app today. Joe Nathan had quite a career.
Yeah, that's my guy.
John Burkett with the Giants in the early 90s, and Gaylord Perry, the Hall of Famer, made his way around the league. In those old timers games, and he'd show up with the jersey with all the different logos on.
Seasoned veteran.
Number 36. A lot of retired numbers here. They've put a couple highlighted out on the wall in right center field after the passings last year of two enormous Giant legends. As Willie Mays, number 24, and Orlando Cepeda's number 30 are on the wall here at Oracle Park in right center field, enlarged in addition to their numbers being retired in the left field corner.
Rightfully so. Not only Giants legends, but just legends is a game of baseball. And if you had a chance to even meet either of those classy gentlemen, just to talk about baseball, talk about their experiences. I mean, I've been around both of them, and it'd be 20 to 30 guys just listening with all ears, talking about just the battles they've had. And Willie went to 24 All-Star games, I believe, Wayne. I mean, wow.
Rodriguez trying to get a chase with his slider, but Berger held up. Berger a double and a run scored in the third inning. And Rangers just enough offense so far to hold the Giants off, but tends to be the later innings when the Giants start to turn the game their way. Chris Martin, the veteran right-hander, warming up in the Texas bullpen as Rodriguez sends Young back to first. From the 7th inning on this year, the Giants have been quite successful. They have a +16 run differential, while the Rangers have a -10. So recent history shows this game is far from over as Rodriguez just missed the corner.
Bob Melvin talked about how they don't concede, and so this is a pitch that Rodriguez wants.
3 balls, 2 strikes, runner goes. And then strike 3 call to throw to second, not in time. Young steals as Rodriguez strikes out Berger.
Berger did not like that call from the Rodriguez slider down.
Second stolen base for Young. And we might have a replay review here on a strike him out, throw him out double play.
San Francisco's challenging the safe call at second base.
On the video board, they just showed it. It looked like this might end up in the Giants' favor.
Yeah, when you slow it down, talk about Bailey's pop time to be able to get that release out of there. Excellent throw off that slider. Very difficult. Fitzgerald's there. The ball beats him. Ooh, he might be out, Wayne.
Yeah, it looks like he is. That tag up on the shin there of the runner coming in, Young.
Ooh, yeah.
Retroactively, we might have a strike him out, throw him out double play. The umpires are looking up at the video board. And that doesn't do anything because the replay review umpires are in New York deciding the fate of this call.
Well, the 40,000 umpires in this stadium right now.
The runner's out. San Francisco retains their challenge.
Well, they were right. It is a strike him out, throw him out double play to win the inning.
Studio update. Back out to Hollywood we go. Skeens update gets Ohtani in the 5th. That's Tommy Edman swinging in the 6th. He had 9 through 6 in a 3rd. He was back out for the 7th for a little bit of time. Over 100 pitches in. Not a bad outing, fellas, for Paul Skeens.
Very good one indeed. Thank you, Lauren. As the Pirates lead the Dodgers 3-0 in LA tonight. Here in San Francisco, it's the Rangers ahead of the Giants 2-0 as Wilmer Flores leads off against the new pitcher, the veteran Chris Martin, who lays in a strike. One of the most extreme strike throwers really of all time. Martin has had incredible control throughout his career, as we see Leody Taveras in the game in center field. Flores tied up, but he did not go around. The most walks that Martin has ever had in a major league season was 8 in 2023 with the Red Sox.
I walked 8 in one game. Tough go.
He's only had 48 walks in 358 major league innings. And Flores dumps one to right. And the Giants have their leadoff man on here in the 7th.
Excellent piece of hitting by Flores, allowing that baseball to travel deep, but testing his strength to be able to fight that off. And hit it to the right side of the diamond. Doesn't take much for him to load. Excellent sinker by Martin, but he understands the situation and how Martin's going to be able to attack him. Beats him to the spot. Gets the G-men going.
The Rangers have added Leody Taveras into the game. He's in center field replacing Destin Harris. Here's Elliot Ramos taking a strike. Talked about splash hits. Well, Ramos is the only right-handed batter to send one into McCovey Cove. That's serious power.
And you got to have some strength to be able to do that. And knew he got it as soon as he hit it. But I love his tools. I talked about it early in the ball game. His speed, his power. Ever since he's been in the big leagues, he seems like comfortable, not only defensively, but at the plate as well.
Last September off Robert Suarez when Ramos sent one into McCovey Cove. If he does that again, he could tie this game.
He tried to go the other way on that one, Wayne. It's a cement mixer. Right in the heart. Quality outstanding tonight, especially after hard contact early.
And 2 balls, 2 strikes on Ramos. Wade and Bailey behind him after the leadoff hit by Flores. Mentioned Ramos making it to the All-Star game last year. 3 times he's made it to the All-Star Futures game. Expect him to be an impactful player, 25 years old, from Puerto Rico. That's in there for strike 3. Anthony Valdi was excellent tonight. Our pitching decisions brought to you by Sage.
Yeah, I think he did an excellent job recognizing what was working for him today, and I think that was the split finger. You see the depth change. It doesn't matter if it's a right-handed batter or a left-handed batter. They see fastball, and it just darts out of the zone. That's going to be his bread and butter all season long, and I thought making that adjustment late in the ball game helped him go deep in the ball game as well.
Let's see if something's wrong with Martin here. Mike Maddox comes out with one of the trainers, and Bruce Bochy heads out as well. Martin has allowed a base hit, and he has struck out a batter in this inning. 6'8". He towers over everyone and says he seems to be fine.
Yeah, jump ball. Native of Arlington, Texas, too, and he's pitched in a lot of high leverage situations, whether it's in the Braves uniform, or Dodger uniform, or Ranger uniform. This is a guy that prides himself on being able to throw strikes late in the ball game. Says, I'm good as it's cold. Cold.
So Chris Martin will return to work here against Lamont Wade, who has a base hit and he's flied out. Strike 1 from Martin. Martin is from Arlington, Texas. This is his second time with the Rangers. He's been with several different teams now, including the Braves when they won the World Series in 2021. Wade with a fly ball shallow. Langford is the one making the move toward the ball, and he makes the catch. 2 outs. Take a look at our StatCast game breakdown powered by Google Cloud. A strike him out, throw him out, double play for Patrick Bailey.
Yeah, we talked about the pop time early in the ball game to him be able to receive that slider, make sure that it's a called strike, and be able to fire a strike to second base, man. That's why he's one of the best defensive catchers in all of baseball, a true weapon behind the plate for the Giants.
See if he can come through with the bat here. 0 for 2 tonight. Gets a high strike call. Bailey, who's been behind the plate on the other side.
Don't want to argue too much because you want that for your pitcher too, but this catches the top of the zone. A nice little backdoor cutter at 92 miles an hour. Go again over there.
And that's in there at the knees for strike 3. So Bailey goes down looking, and Martin racks up 2 strikeouts. The Rangers still keeping the Giants off the board. Part by Dove Whole Body DO, 72-hour odor control plus skincare everywhere.
Dove got some good body wash, Wheezy.
Sounds like it. Kyle Higashioka leads off the 8th inning. Randy Rodriguez still out there for his 2nd inning of work as he deals ball 1 to Higashioka, who has caught a shutout on the other side between Eovaldi for 6 innings and Chris Martin for the 7th. Rangers have started off 14 and 11 in the American League West. That is good enough for first place right now. The Mariners lost earlier tonight to Miami 8-4. The Astros were shut out in Kansas City tonight 2-0. The Angels got throttled in Minnesota tonight 11-4. The only other AL West team ahead tonight, the A's, lead the White Sox 6-3. Swing and a miss by Higashioka. Rodriguez has 3 strikeouts. Follow the MLB season with the Apple Sports app. Get all of those real-time scores and play-by-play straight to your iPhone lock screen. Fast and simple. Download the Apple Sports app for free on the App Store today. You thought you had a leg kick.
Man, that's serious right there. I love that. Getting downhill on him.
Juan Marichal with that incredible leg kick, riding that to the Hall of Fame as Smith bounces out. 2 up, 2 down here in the 8th inning. Rodriguez is the anti-D train when it comes to the leg kick.
I don't know. He turns around as well. Very deceptive throw. Helps with that slider, and he has the velo to go with it. So he's a very difficult cover, and I like that little recoil finish to let everybody know. Huh?
He does have the big whip around at the end.
Yeah, I like it. Throw the baseball with conviction. I mean, when a pitcher's able to do that and be coordinated, when you hide the baseball like that, all of a sudden that 96 plays up to 100 miles an hour because it's very difficult to pick up the rotation, the spin.
Broken bat, fly ball, and a base hit for Langford. He has 3 hits tonight. He thought about second base, but he puts on the brakes at first.
I tell you what, now you watch him a lot in your other job, one of 9 of them. He runs a lot like a young Mike Trout with the hustle out of the box. I mean, he understands it's a base hit, but it doesn't take him a lot of stride to get to first base. And he has that lower half strength. That's where all that power comes from.
A really good, mature player, 23 years old. He essentially skipped the minor leagues, but he played a quarter of a season or so in the minors, 44 minor league games. And now since he is hitting that 2-hole, well, the Rangers have at least had some offense from that spot in the order.
Especially without having Corey Seager in the lineup. They'll be down for a couple of days. Very important to have some productivity at the top of the lineup that they're used to.
And they think they'll have Seager back as soon as his 10 days are up, or at least right in that spot, maybe after 11 or 12. And Corey Seager was the main man for the Rangers when they won the World Series. He was the MVP. As Langford runs and Peterson pops one foul out of play. Seager is the only player to win World Series MVP in both leagues. He was the Dodgers 2020 World Series MVP. And the Rangers 2 years ago.
And how many highlights have you seen him come up with a big defensive play or a big home run? And so he's an important piece, especially when they're firing on all cylinders, along with Marcus Semien and company.
Langford will run. He has 4 stolen bases in 5 tries. You see the World Series MVP 2-time winners. Koufax is a Dodger, Gibson is a Cardinal. Reggie won it for 2 different teams, but Seager winning it for 1 team in each league. Langford really leaning, but he's back safely.
Little flinch, little jump for Langford. They're going to check it. Rodriguez almost gets him if that throw is more closer to the glove side.
Langford thought about it. Bailey chased him back to first.
I love that Bailey just has the green light to sling it. It doesn't matter. He's going to be able to fire. Saw Langford was in no man's land and connected with Wade to try to make that play.
Swing and a miss. Peterson chases a ball down and in. Bailey will chuck it to first to end the inning. 2 more strikeouts, 2 scoreless innings for Randy Rodriguez. He keeps it 2-0 Texas. Up be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. For those who are unable to join us inside of a sold-out Oracle Park tonight, plenty of room on the lovely Martha outside.
I like that boat. They was jamming up there.
40,080 in attendance to welcome Bruce Bochy back to San Francisco. And I'm sure this place will be sold out again tomorrow as Fitzgerald pops this one up out of play as they celebrate Brandon Crawford here tomorrow in his incredible career with the Giants.
Deservingly so. Another Bay Area native, grew up loving watching the Giants and his impact, and one of the sweetest shortstops in his organization's history, man. Has a mural of himself right down the street, and got a chance to know him because we don't live far away from each other in Scottsdale, Arizona, man. And much deserving for him, what he's done for this organization.
Fitzgerald pops it to right. Garcia is waiting for it. 1 out here in the 8th.
I used to tell him all the time when I saw that Jerry curl from Brandon Crawford, you knew he was going to play well that night when he had that thing moist.
Chris Martin on to face just 1 hitter in this inning. And Bruce Bochy will go back to his bullpen. The Rangers trying to hold off the Giants tonight. Back with more in a moment. Time Giant, a 4-time Gold Glove winner and a 2-time world champion. Brandon Crawford, beloved here in San Francisco, and these fans will be ready to salute him here tomorrow afternoon.
The quiet leader in that locker room.
This is Robert Garcia, the new pitcher for the Rangers, trying to hold a 2-0 lead. 14th appearance tied for the major league lead.
Yeah, workhorse, especially going up against the left-handed batters late in high leverage situations.
It'll be a good pitching matchup here tomorrow too. Tyler Mahle and Robbie Ray for the 2nd game of this series. Bruce Bochy said he's appreciative the Giants held Brandon Crawford Celebration Day on a day that he would be here.
Yeah.
Not too many days on the schedule with Bruce Bochy in attendance here in San Francisco.
Only fitting.
Yastrzemski got hit by this last foul ball.
Yeah, took the slider, trying to get out in front. Oh. Too cold for that tonight.
Not sure it feels any better on a warm night.
I agree with you. 2-0 Wayne. Yeah, I agree with you. Pat Burrell just sitting there glancing like, oh my God, gets up and says, I'll be all right.
Well, it was a better day for Yastrzemski yesterday. He cracked a home run.
Yeah, he seems to be comfortable in the leadoff spot. Got a change up and free jeans for everybody. Levi.
Giants playing the Brewers here earlier in the week, winning 3 out of 4 against Milwaukee. It's been a great start for San Francisco. They are 17-9. Pitched pretty well, especially out of the bullpen. They've had some timely hits. And they've scored a good number of runs here. Although they've been shut out a few times, and they're being shut out tonight. Padres lost at home tonight to the Rays 1-0. So the Giants can actually pass the Padres and claim first place. There's still a long way to go if they win tonight. There's one unearned run in that game scored by the Rays that they beat the Padres. Shane Baz worked 7 innings for the win.
Yeah, that NL West seems to be one of the best divisions, if not the best division in all of baseball. I think it's going to be a gauntlet all season long.
Well, certainly 1 through 4. That's in there for strike 3 call to Yastrzemski. So Garcia strikes out the first batter that he faces here in the 8th.
Yeah, well-thrown fastball. Yastrzemski's looking for that slider once again, and he fouled off himself, and that's just a fastball thrown right on the edge of the conviction. And to be honest with you, he didn't look very comfortable at the plate with that foul ball.
Garcia came from the Nationals in the offseason when the Rangers traded Nathaniel Lowe to Washington. He's been a good find out of the bullpen for Chris Young and the Rangers. Willy Adames 1 for 3 tonight. The Giants only have 4 hits. They've been all singles. As Garcia lays in a strike, it's 1-1. Adames does have 1 of those hits. The Rangers scored a run in the 3rd on a Langford double, a run in the 6th on a Peterson base hit. And that's all they've needed tonight behind a strong pitching performance headlined by Nathan Eovaldi. The wave is making its way around here.
Almost jumped out of the seat. Wayne messed up your call. I get involved with that.
Did you do that at Candlestick Park?
And when I wasn't freezing in right field.
Just do it to keep warm.
Yeah. Good pass. Now when Willie's right, Wayne, he hits the ball with a lot of authority to right center. Now that might be tricky with this outfield and the way it's shaped, but I feel like when he's locked in, he hits with authority to the right side.
Had a huge year last year for the Brewers. Drove in 112 runs for Milwaukee last year. Full count on Adames. Swing and a miss, strike 3. The Rangers tossing 8 shutout innings against the Giants tonight. Columbus hosts San Jose at 7:30 Eastern. Sunday we'll have 4 matches highlighted by Lionel Messi and Inter Miami facing Dallas at 5 p.m. Then LAFC battles St. Louis in our Sunday night soccer matchup. All the action on MLS Season Pass. See that fire wig right there? That's part of the hooligans.
I like that. Looks like a little bit of Tekken. Old school video game.
That's right.
Or candy corn.
Are you hungry again? Now here's Ryan Walker. He's hungry for a good outing here. Last couple of outings have been rough for Walker. To the point where Camilo Doval has had some saves lately and save opportunities. Bob Melvin not ready to say that Doval's the closer, but Walker, who had that job out of spring training and did it well for the first few weeks, has seen a rough spot, but he strikes out Garcia pretty quickly here.
He needs to be aggressive and trust his movement within the strike zone, and so it's a rhythm down there in that bullpen, but right now he's coming out, and I love that two-seam action. Garcia sees it as a ball out of his hand, and then all of a sudden it's running back over the middle of the plate. Well executed.
The Rangers closer is Luke Jackson, who was with the Giants the last couple of years. And you could see him in the bottom of the 9th inning as he gets ready for save.
Also, when you look at Walker, he works very fast, and so if the mechanics or the throw is off, all of a sudden the game can speed up on it very quickly.
2 balls and 1 strike now on Marcus Semien, who's 0 for 3. Remember, he had that 15-game hitting streak in this ballpark that is on the line here. Showed Walker's blown save against the Angels on Sunday. Also struggled against the Brewers on Wednesday. He became the closer really last year when Duvall was struggling, and he had not blown a save until just the other day as Semien pops one up. Yastrzemski is in for it, and there are 2 up, 2 down. And 2 outs as Josh Young will be the batter. It's been great to have Russell Dorsey part of our crew this week on the sidelines. We miss Heidi, who will be back with us in Milwaukee next Friday. Heidi Watney out this week, and she'll rejoin us next week for the Cubs and Brewers.
Another big-time matchup.
Cubs are whacking the baseball.
I know you excited, Weezy. Don't try to be quiet about it now. That's a talented lineup, and they believe, especially some of the guys in their lineup, that they're going to consistently hit the cover off the baseball, take a hold of that division.
Beat the Phillies today 4-0. Cubs are now 17-10. They're the only team in that division above 500 right now.
Yeah, the rest of them are trying to find their identity, and the rest of the rosters don't have the offensive firepower to be able to keep up with them thus far.
Cubs have scored roughly 30 runs more than any other team. It's a strike to Young. Young has a base hit today. Hasn't been a whole lot of offense tonight. Rangers have gotten it done so far with just 2 runs on 7 hits. The Giants have been shut out on 4 hits. Full count on Young. A chase for strike 3. A rebound for Ryan Walker. The Giants will try to mount a comeback. In the bottom of the 9th, they'll have Lee, Chapman, and Flores due up. Now Jung-Hoo Lee will try to start it for the Giants in the bottom of the 9th inning as they look to rally. Lee had some fun against the Yankees back on April 13th. A couple of home runs of Carlos Rodon.
Yeah, he was definitely on Rodon's fastball and the breaking ball. Every time Rodon threw that breaking ball hanging, he didn't get that baseball back.
Yankees lost today. Devin Williams allowed 3 runs in the 9th inning. He's got a real problem to start the year.
Yeah, he might need to shave.
Listen to this crowd for Jung-Hoo Lee. Almost hit him, ball 1. Now Garcia is still in the game to face Lee, and then it will be Luke Jackson. All right-handers follow Lee, at least the next 3. Chapman, Flores, and Ramos, all right-handed hitters.
Slider just caught the edge. Excellent pitch right there, especially after that fastball and a half to Lee.
In a similar spot, the ball 2.
Whole left side of that infield is open, so lefty on lefty slider as Lee stays on it. He's got a lot of real estate to the left side.
Big cut. Lee lost his helmet and fouled it off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Middle of the order due up for the Giants here in the bottom of the 9th. Trying to stage a late comeback. They have 8 come from behind victories this year. The Rangers have a few losses in the opponent's last at bat this season.
Oh!
Or maybe it hit the bat. It's hard to tell. They're going to say that it was a strike and that Lee is out. Wow. He was hit by the pitch, but he could not hold his swing, and it's strike 3. Nestor Seiya, the third base umpire. Some confusion on the field here. Not sure why. Now Bob Melvin's coming out.
Wayne, this is a riding fastball.
Well, did it hit the bat or did it hit him?
It sounded like it hit the bat.
That's what I thought. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, right at the top of the handle.
That should be a foul ball. The official ruling, at least for now, is that it was a ball that hit the batter and he swung on for a strike, but it should be changed to a foul ball.
Seems like both sides are at the top step to see what the ruling is.
The call in the field is a hit by pitch that he offered at for a strike, so he is out.
So now the Giants, I believe, can ask for a review. We'll send it back to our Zoom room and Ted Barrett. Ted, what can Bob Melvin do here?
Yeah, so he can ask for a review here of whether the ball was hit the batter or hit the bat, which would be foul. You guys are right. The plate umpire originally he had the ball hitting the batter, and he went for a check swing to Nestor Seiya, who ruled it a swing. And so now we'll see what the confusion here. We'll get it cleared up.
Well, Lee is out there with his interpreter as well. Robert Hahn is trying to explain what happened. Ted, why haven't the Giants asked for that review then? You see Bob Melvin contesting.
Yeah, it could be a timing issue, or it could be non-reviewable if I'm unaware of this, but we'll get it straightened out.
What a big turn of events, Wayne, right there, because we can clearly hear that that ball was hit off the handle.
So now with Lee cleared, Bruce Bochy will bring Jackson into this game to try to complete the save. Garcia struck out all 3 batters that he faced. We'll take a break. On this pitch, that was ruled to have hit him, but was also ruled a check swing for strike 3. Although it didn't seem like it hit him, it seemed like it hit the bat, which would have made it a foul ball. Now check swings are not reviewable, but hit by pitches are, so we're not sure why the Giants were not allowed to review that. Maybe they waited too long amidst the confusion. Not sure, but here's Luke Jackson coming off his first blown save of the year yesterday in Sacramento, facing the Giants and needing to get 2 outs for a save here tonight.
Yeah, that's a tough break if you're Bowmel and company, because you can clearly hear it and you can see the contact and the ricochet off that bat for Lee.
That's a strike with the knees to Matt Chapman. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ranger pitchers have now recorded 12 strikeouts tonight. Eovaldi had 7, 2 for Chris Martin and 3 for Garcia. Jackson facing his former team, the Giants. trying for his 8th save. It's a big first out here in the bottom of the 9th to strikeout lead. 3 strikeouts tonight for Lee. A half swing and a bouncer. Jackson over to cover, and Chapman's the second out.
It seems like that missed call or that call, Wayne, took all the air out of the stadium. You're starting to see fans walk up the turnstiles right now, and so that would have been a huge break for them to be able to get lead, especially with his base running ability. You have the heart of the lineup up in the bottom half of this inning.
2 out, nobody on. Here's Flores. As Jackson deals strike 1. Well, this first ever battle between Eovaldi and Verlander, it was a well-pitched game. But the advantage right now to Eovaldi and the Rangers, 1 out away from a shutout win. Ball 1 to Flores. Giants have not had an extra base hit tonight. They've only had 1 man reach second base. It was Lamont Wade in the 5th inning. That was a pitch timer violation, so now the count 2 balls and a strike on Flores. That's in there. It's 2-2.
An excellent breaking ball by Jackson.
And the Rangers all time, including the World Series, just 6-19 here at Oracle Park.
Whoa.
Trying to put away the Giants tonight. Luke Jackson has a 3-2 count on Flores.
He wanted that breaking ball on the edge too, away from Flores, especially his power zone, which is down and in.
Elliot Ramos on deck, hoping for a chance to represent the tying run. 3-2. And Flores fights one off toward the left field corner. It's deep, but it hooks foul.
See what I mean, Wayne? He likes that ball inner half. Doesn't matter where he is in that count. If he gets that fastball, he can beat you to the spot.
Jock Peterson had his first RBI of the season tonight. Wyatt Langford has driven in a run. That's been just enough offense for the Rangers with 1 out left to get. That's in there. Strike 3 called. And with the 13th strikeout tonight from a Rangers pitcher, Texas completes the shutout. 2-0 the final here in San Francisco.
Well, that's the game, especially the way the Giants offense has been cooking. The Rangers did a good job as a staff coming in this hostile environment and shutting down this talented offense. They threw strikes. They had a ton of swing and miss. And after a couple loud outs early on, Eovaldi did a good job of settling in and putting and really setting the tone for the rest of his pitching staff. Excellent, well-pitched ball game by the Texas Rangers staff.
Ends up being a tough luck loss for Verlander tonight, though he pitched very well. Eovaldi just a little better.
Absolutely. I felt like, Justin Verlander made 2 mistakes to Wyatt Langford. That's about it. But other than that, he looked like his business as usual. He's going to get a lot of wins for the Giants. He's going to be just fine as long as he's able to stay healthy in that rotation. The Giants are going to be there all season long.
And the Rangers hoping they are as well. They win it 2-0 against the Giants this evening. You take a look at our cap off the night. Recap presented by Miller Lite. Wyatt Langford driving in the first run of the game with his double into the left field corner and knocked in Jake Berger. And then the Rangers had 3 straight hits to start the 6th inning against Verlander. And it was Jock Peterson who drove in the 2nd run, bringing home Josh Smith.
Well, Peterson did a good job. He was behind in the count, had trouble covering that fastball, but all of a sudden adjusted swing with that slider just barreling the baseball just enough to knock another run in, which was a big one today.
2-0 the final. Wyatt Langford had 3 hits, 2 doubles, and an RBI, and he's standing by with Russell Dorsey.
Thanks, Wayne. Wyatt, 3 for 4, 2 doubles tonight. You've had a hot start to this season. What's really helped you in the month of April?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Had that little break when I went on the IL. Got to look at some things. Feel like I'm in a really good spot now. So.
Year one, your rookie season, obviously a learning experience, learning the different pitchers around the big leagues. Going from year one to year two, what was the thing you wanted to work on this offseason as you grow into a player now that people have seen before?
Yeah, there wasn't much. I feel like I had a pretty good spring.